So the next session, this focuses on a lot of the challenges faced by people who identify as black. And one of the biggest challenges at the moment, especially which affects children and adults, is around hair care. Um, and some people might be confused, what's he talking about hair care? How is that such a big issue? Um, and, how can there be racism in there? So I'll kind of obviously talk about that and using, again, the latest evidence research. Um, So the HABIA, which is a hair and beauty industry authority in the UK, in 2021 they revised the standards and the kind of curriculum, as it were, to ensure that people, hairdressers are trained to work with Afro-textured hair because there's a huge shortage in the UK. So what they've said is, in terms of, in light of equality, you need to be trained in this hair type as well. Now, recent study, 259 colleges across England were contacted. So this was in 2021, 4 years ago. So these colleges are contacted to see how many of them have actually updated their courses in line with the kind of standards that. And literally only 82% said they had, which equates to 32%. So only a third of all the colleges across the UK have actually addressed this issue. So if you kind of think back, this has been going on for decades. It's been raised, there's been activism. The governing bodies have recognised it. They think they've addressed it. Yet when it comes to implementation, 259 colleges across the UK, literally only 82 have done it. And even out of those 82, obviously to varying degrees, but the vast majority haven't done it yet. Over 68%, almost two-thirds haven't. Um, so what I thought I'll do is obviously focus a bit of learning on this subject because I think a lot of us um, are either completely oblivious to this and the challenges, but also just general learning, and I think that's something that's missing where people just don't undertake general learning just for the sake of learning. Let's learn. Um, So you might be surprised to hear, but there are a lot of categories of hair, not just straight and curly, but there's actually 10 distinct hair types, and each have their own care needs. So this kind of shows some of that and the kind of alphabetical kind of grading system they use. Um, Hair type 1, they call it no curl at all. Then hair type 2 is slight curls, and then as the letters go A, B, C, it becomes more curly as you go towards C. Then hair type, the third type is curly hair, but loose, and again, A, B, C, depending on the curls. And then the other hair type, tight curls, 4A, 4B, 4C. Um, and related to that, and especially with the Afro hair in particular, the wash routine is very different. And again, that's something people just don't appreciate. You've probably seen all the Head and Shoulder adverts or the wash and go, just, jump in, throw a bit of shampoo in, wash it out and go. But in reality, it's not as easy as that for everybody. And that impacts on time to get ready for school. It impacts, confidence, self-esteem as well. Impacts financially as well, cost-wise, because it's not a case of just buy this one bottle and I just throw a bit on and go. There's a lot more, things to buy and do. So a typical routine for Afro hair includes step one is detangling, then washing, then conditioning, then rinsing, and then the moisturizing style. Each one of these steps takes quite a bit of time. Um, and again, I was really interested to learn more, so I also looked into this. I've managed to find a really good video, which I'd like to share. Um, it is about 10, 11 minutes long. Um, it is really worth watching. Um, and I think it's just for me it was just an acknowledgement of just how challenging and time consuming and how much effort goes into this and yeah, just fantastic watch. So I think it deserves the respect that it's due. So I'm going to press play and then we'll watch the video and then afterwards we'll come back.
Today I know 4 wash days routine.
Hi guys, welcome back to another video. So as Ava said, this is her full wash day routine, and I'm going to be sharing with you how I detangle, wash, condition, moisturize and style her hair. And this is the first time my baby girl is making an appearance on my channel, so I hope you enjoy the video. Also, if you're new to my channel, be sure to check out my other videos for lots of hair care tips, hairstyles and tutorials. So let's begin with step 1, which is to detangle Ava's hair, and this is a process I always follow when doing mine and Ava's sister's hair as well. So as you'll see, I tend to twist her hair up and keep it in 4 sections because it makes the detangling process more easier and straightforward to do, and also having some structure in place just makes the process feel less overwhelming, especially if you don't want to spend all day doing your child's hair. I also like to cover her clothes with this cape to protect it from any mess, which is something I started doing a few months ago because we all know things can get kind of messy with products and stuff, and so I don't want to dirty her clothes unnecessarily. So I'm just going to show you what I do on this section only before speeding things up. But I unravel her twist first, and then I fully saturate her hair with lots of water to hydrate it, loosen up the strands and to make it more elastic and flexible so that her hair is easier to manipulate. Now if you don't currently do this to your child's hair before combing, then this is something that you should definitely start doing, as this will help to avoid hurting your child's hair or damaging it and causing any unnecessary breakage due to their hair being too dry. Okay, so I like to start off with finger detangling Ava's hair first, as it helps to carefully separate out her strands so I can feel my way through the knots and tangles and then removing them, and I always do this before going in with a comb so I'm not breaking her hair. Next I apply some oil for extra slippage. Oils are so good for helping to remove any knots and tangles, and I'll use any oil really, but this time I'm using coconut oil, and as you'll see I'm just sliding my fingers down her strands, you know, and just feeling for any knots before going in with a small tooth comb and just teasing the end of her hair to remove any little tricky knots that tend to build up before going in with a wide tooth comb on the rest of her hair. And again, I pretty much repeat the same process before twisting it up and moving on to the next one. So now that you get the picture, I'm just going to speed things up. So as I was saying at the start of the video, this is the first time Ava has made an appearance on my channel. I actually planned to film her wash day video when she was 2 years old, but she did not like having her hair washed. She would cry like crazy, and to be honest, she still doesn't really like it that much, but we've made a lot of progress since then, so that's why this video has taken me so long to film. But let me know in the comments if any of you mums are currently struggling with wash day. If you are, just hang in there and keep going because it will get easier. I've been through this process twice before, so trust me, I know exactly how it can be. But here's a few tips, you know, to help you through the process. Just make sure your child has eaten, they've had a drink or has had some snacks, they've got their iPads, you know, on standby, just to help keep them happy and entertained. Okay, so moving on to step 2, which is to wash Ava's hair. I'm just unraveling all the twists, and then I'm going to tie each section with some hair bands to keep her hair together so it doesn't come loose. And then I'm using this washing cap, which is designed to keep the water out of your child's face and ears. And I've been using this for a good few years now, and actually bought it for my eldest daughter Olivia when she was 2, and she's 7 now, or almost 7. She's 6 going on 7, and she still uses it. So to wash her hair, I'm using the Aunt Jackie's moisturising and softening shampoo, which I've been using on Ava's hair for as long as I can remember. So I'm only applying the shampoo to her strands first before massaging it into her scalp to cleanse it well. And you'll see that I like to hold on to her hair a lot because it's what I do to prevent her hair from shrinking up or becoming tangled during the washing process. And this works really well, and something you might want to try as well. If anyone is wondering whether this washing cap is worth trying, then I definitely say it is, because it's helped a great deal with getting through wash day, but you just need to make sure that you tighten the adjusters at the back of their head properly, as sometimes the water can seep through into their face, and that's when things can go completely downhill. So I'm just giving her hair a really good cleanse because wash day is overdue, and I only shampoo her hair once. I'm making sure that her hair will come out nice and clean, and then I'll rinse it off before twisting it up again to keep her hair in place. So I tend to wash Ava's hair every 2 to 3 weeks, although there has been times when wash days have been overdue. I mean, we have 3 heads of hair to wash, and so I try to alternate it and write it down, you know, that we've got schedules to keep on track. But life can sometimes get really busy, and before you know it, it's wash day again. And I know some of you mums can relate, it's literally like a part-time job. Okay, so hair's been cleansed, twisted and ready for the conditioning process, which swiftly brings me on to step number 3, which is to condition, and you're pretty much going to see me repeat the same process again. So I'm using the Aunt Jackie's Super Duper Softening Conditioner, and when applying it to Ava's hair, I like to separate her strands to get in between her hair to make sure all of the strands receive the conditioning product. And I do like to be generous in the amount of product that I apply, and then once that's done, I'll just twist her hair back up again and move on to the next section and repeat the same process. So Ava's hair has grown so much over the years. She's literally just turned 4 last week, but I've been taking care of her hair since she was a few months old, and her hair care routine is very simple and easy. I just wash and condition every 2 to 3 weeks. I moisturise her hair twice a day, and when styling, I'll create simple and easy puff styles, or sometimes I'll create twisted styles which can last about a week or 2, and that just gives her hair a nice break from everyday styling. So I'm just going to cover her hair with the cap to allow the conditioner to sit for 10 minutes. And then quickly moving on to step 4, which is time to rinse it all out. So guys, this routine is super easy. If you're currently struggling with caring for your child's hair, all you really need is a simple hair care routine that you can stick to, some patience, lots of TLC, and over time your child's hair can have the potential to flourish. Before I forget, both the shampoo and the conditioner I'm using will be in the description box, along with the washing cap with links to where you can get them from, and also my other daughter's wash day and styling videos will be there as well, just for anyone who might be interested in checking that out. Another thing I'm not sure if I've mentioned is that I like to use headbands to tie the ends of Ava's hair, because from experience with my hair, the twists don't always stay together and they tend to unravel. So this just helps to keep them, you know, together and gives you one less thing to worry about. And again, I use this method on my hair as well. By the way, I'll link my wash day video in the description box for anyone who might be interested in watching that as well. Okay, so I'm just using a t-shirt to dry Ava's hair because it's a lot less harsh and more gentle than a towel. And then I'm just going to blot dry and squeeze out the excess water from her hair, and we'll leave it until I'm ready to moisturise and style. Moving on to the final step, which is to style her hair, and we're going for something quick and simple and one of Ava's favourite hairstyles to wear. So I'm using the Imbu Coil Rejoicing Leave-In Conditioner to moisturise her hair, and this is a product I started using around December, January this year, which I've been loving. It's very moisturising, and me and my girls all tend to use the same moisturising products in our house, which is handy. So I'm just moving the product into her hair and making sure it's well moisturised, and I really like to take my time during this step because I want to make sure that all strands are covered and that her hair is not left feeling too dry. Going to repeat the same process again, and then we'll be ready to style her hair. Okay, so did I tell you guys that Ava is the boss when it comes to styling her hair? Listen, she is always telling me how she wants her hair styled for nursery. If I try to even deviate or try anything else, this girl will not be having it. I mean, to be honest, I kind of set myself up because I always used to ask her how she wanted her hair to be styled, and before I knew it, she literally took over. So we're going for 2 double puffs and some pretty hair bows with a zigzag parting at the front, and I'm gently going to be brushing and smoothing her hair up to create the look. So the whole wash day process, not including detangling, took just under an hour, which isn't too bad. But detangling can sometimes take a lot longer than an hour, depending on how tangled her hair is. But she was so good filming this video, because normally she'll have her iPad to keep her occupied, but she had nothing today. So my baby girl did really well, although to be honest, she is really good anyway. Just to add the bows for the finishing touch. And there we have it, wash day complete and a very happy girl.
Thanks for watching, everyone. Bye-bye.
There we go. And yeah, it's one of those things. Sometimes we kind of can underestimate the challenges, and it's just it's something that just through learning, understanding better, we can get a better idea of things. And this is why lived experience is so important, and experiential learning through lived experiences, because what a lot of reports will say is actually people who write the reports or make the recommendation policies, they don't actually understand the lived experience, and that's why often they are kind of off the mark, or something's introduced, yeah, it's going to be fantastic, but it's not, because it's not been designed or created with meaningful involvement. And again, it's just learning, just drying the hair with a t-shirt. I'd never thought of that before. So yeah, round of applause for Ava and her mum for that excellent tutorial on the hair.